Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation today continues from Suhi Mahalla Panjwa, Guru Arjan Dev Ji. And the refrain, the Rahau, is the very first verse, and it reads, Har ka Sant Pran Tan Tiska Panehara Pai meet sut sagal te ji te pyara. Har ka Sant, possessive, the Sant of the Har. So what is the Sant? As we have often said, it comes from the word Sat and Santa, placid and the truth, and usually in Gurbani points to an awakened mind. And the awakening or the wisdom possessed here expresses itself as an embodiment, as in the case of the Sikh Gurus, or as text, as in the Guru Granth. The point being, it is pointing to a wisdom, the wisdom of the Har. That wisdom is Pran, Pran, the breath, the life force, without which we can't exist. Tan, it is our only treasure. So in relation to that wisdom, Har ka Sant, the Guru says, I am its water carrier. Tisaka Panihara. Panihara, water carrier. This is, in the Indian context, the humblest servant in the household. And so this is the role that the narrator, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, is asking for, water carrier. Then he lines up everything that we hold precious. Bhai meet sut sagalate, brother, companion, children, all of these things, sagalte, above all, ji te pyara, it is my breath, but it's even dearer to me than my breath, this wisdom. So Panihara is symbolic because in Gurbani, water is equated to divine wisdom as life-giving truth and the cleansing power of Naam. Pavan Guru Pani Pita. So when Guru Arjan Dev Ji uses Panihara, it's basically working on two interlocking levels. One is the outer, the service, the ultimate stance of humility, performing the most menial, ego-shattering task. And then there is the inner wisdom, becoming a vessel that draws from the reservoir of the Guru's wisdom to quench the thirst of Trishna, the burning of the mind. So that's how it is being used, and that is how I think we should read this. And the verse after that says, Kisa ka kar bijana sant chaur dulavo, Siis niharo charan tal tur mukhlamo. Let me make a fan out of my own hair. Kisa ka kar bijana sant chaur dulao, and in the manner of a whisk, may I wave it over this Sant, and let me lay my head beneath their feet. Siis niharo charanatal, and then touch the dust of those feet to my face. That's the description. Tur mukha lamu. So we know that Gurbani is rich in allegory, and the motifs that are being used here, namely the hair as a whisk, chaur, applying dust to the forehead, tur, they operate far beyond these simple physical acts. They are really esoteric inversions of pride and ego. So kesa ka kar bijna. Kes, this is the crown of the head, the hair, symbolizing sovereignty, symbolizing personal identity, also symbolizing the peak of the intellectual faculty. This is the Indian tradition. And moreover, the crown of the head correlates to Dasamdwar, meaning the aperture of higher consciousness. This is where you find your way to the Har. And what's going on here is when the seeker says that I will unbind my hair in the fashion of a whisk, the seeker is essentially signifying radical subversion, the very symbol of sovereign dignity that a person feels, the very symbol of intellectual pride, is deployed to soothe and serve the Sant, the carrier of divine insight. And when you fan away the chaur, it's not simply dissipating physical heat. It is also dispersing the scorching winds of worldly desire, anxiety, trishna. So, the entire cognitive apparatus is brought into quiet alignment with the Sant, and the remaining verses amplify on this. It is मिष्ट बचन बेनती करो दीन की न्याय तज अबमान सरणी परो हर गुण निध पाई. मिष्ट बचन, sweetness of speech, sweet, gentle speech. Now again, this is not simply conventional etiquette that Guruji is talking about. It is, in fact, an ontological alignment, sweet speech, because Gurbani says, Mit bolada ji har sajjan swami mera. The har is of sweet speech. This is alignment of one's speech, how to connect with the har. Because the opposite of sweet speech represents the ego, kauda bol. Harsh, sharp, condescending speech is a mark of the ego, because it is the ego that demands frontiers, separation in order to express itself. But soft speech is the opposite, and it arises only when kauda bol dissolves. And then the verse following, Avalokan punah punah karo jan ka darsar, Amrit bachan man meh sinchao, bandho bar bar. Again and again, gazing upon that blessed vision. Punah punah, again and again. Amrit bachan man meh sinchao. I irrigate my mind with Amrit Bachan, with that sweet nectar, speech of the Har. And again, I surrender to it. This is the practice. This is the practice, you see. Avalokana, punah punah, beyond passive seeing. It implies deliberate beholding. It's fixing one's contemplative gaze on the embodiment of reality, the Har. And it is an iterative loop. Punah punah. The mind operates through continuous associative loops. If you leave it to its default state, it rehearses anxiety and worldly conditioning. So Guruji is using the repetition of punah punah to counter this, to reorient the mind. And then Amrit Bachan, the mind is arid, it is dry. It needs the saturation of Amrit Bachan and bar, continuous surrender. The closing verse talks about Chittavo man asa karo, jan ka sang mangaon, Nanak ko prabh daya kar, das charani lagon. A repetition of what has been said. Chittavo. Chittavo now is holding in the mind. The mind becoming the wisdom that it has been holding on to. Chittavo stemming from chitta, the foundational substrate of memory, impression, and consciousness. This is the ground. It is the ground of our consciousness. So the absorption cycle in the sabad is panihara, bringing the vessel to draw from the source, inverting the crown, bijana, charanachor, dismantling cognitive arrogance. Then there is acoustic alignment, mishta bachan, tuning the relational frequency. And then there is irrigation, sencho, soaking the subsurface layers of the psyche. And then chittavo signifies internalization eventually. The wisdom ceases to be an external object of study. The chitta, our substrate, takes on the shape of the wisdom itself. It becomes that wisdom. And therefore, the Guru says, Janaka Sangha Mango, I seek the sustenance of that awareness, of that matrix of awareness. Janaka Sangha. And that is the final descent into grace. Das Charani Lago, through the Guru. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.